Coming up in this episode of the KickCast, a watch that delivers you inspirational quotes, help make a busker's dream come true, and the Octobo might be the plush for you. So sit back and relax. It's time for the KickCast. Hey everybody, it is time for another episode of the KickCast, the podcast, where we go out and find projects and let you know if you should backtrack or sack them. I am Ktdata, one half of the show. Joining me is a man who loves his kids so much that although he paid for a game once and it didn't get delivered as promised on time, he decided to go out and make sure his daughters were happy. The one and only Drew Tyler. How are you doing today, my friend? Again, going for the Father of the Year, and it's only the first quarter of the year.
Know, right?
Seriously, bro. You know, you're just like...
I thought I was doing the right thing. It's like, I ordered on Amazon. It's going to be here. I even told them I'm pulling you guys out of school. We're going to play me.
Wait, you did not say that you pulled them out of school?
I was going to. I was ready to. If it would have shown up on time, I was going to go pull them out of school. We're going to play. But I got the alert about 9 a.m. It was like, your delivery schedule has been changed until Monday. And I was like, oh, no, it hasn't. You can't do this to me. So I went out, bought the game again, just so we can play it all weekend.
What'd you do with the Amazon copy? Did you just send it back or refuse
I still have it, but I'll refuse it. I got it yesterday, but I'll refuse it.
Oh my gosh,
return
man!
it or whatever, but
seriously,
ridiculous, right?
Yeah, you're trying to be Dad of the Year, and then the man just pushes you down. Like somebody just give him the man 2018 Dad of the Year already, right here. I don't even have kids, and I'm jealous. I don't know if I'm jealous of the kids or of you. That's the problem too.
Have a good life.
But if this is your guys' first time watching the show, this is the point of the show where I just, have to step back and judge how my life has been a failure compared to the man that is right next to me this way, the one and only Drew Tyler. But welcome to the show. And believe me, we don't do this the whole show. And
it's not the Drew show, at least not this time around.
Oh, we should do the Drew show. I get to be this, we could do it. I could be the sidekick. You could be the main talk show host, and I mean, do you still have the curtains so you could do a curtain open and come out? How's everybody doing? We'll figure out your spiel, like how Conan does the dance or whatever. You'll have your own spiel, and we'll just do that, right?
Good, I like that.
I can't guarantee that we might have to CG in the crowd that cheers for you, but it will work.
Whatever it takes.
All right. So before we jump into our projects tonight, we actually have some news. And Drew, this is actually something your students might be interested in. Because we've mentioned this before. Last year, they actually announced, the first time I announced it. So Kickstarter has announced their open call to apply to become a Kickstarter creator in residence. And we announced this last year, and the whole idea is you apply and then you actually have Kickstarter's resources. You go to the Kickstarter headquarters, you hang out there, and all their resources are available to you. So now they're asking for registrations or applicants for people to register for it. And last year was kind of the first year they did it. And I think they've done it 3 times since then, where now we can actually see what some of the people have done. So some of the stuff is one of the guys was a podcaster. He recorded 30 interviews with different artists and comedians in their Kickstarter recording studio. Who knew Kickstarter had their own recording studio? But they did.
They did, yeah.
There was a dance performance by one of the guys. There was a dance workshop. And then she even had somebody launched their Kickstarter project in the Kickstarter office. And then once it funded and stuff, she used their theater for their first cut and doing all the color correcting and all that good stuff, all in-house. So this is actually a great opportunity for, if you're one of Drew's students who watches this. I don't think any of your students watches this.
There are a few.
That they should, if they have an idea and they want to do it, they should actually apply for this. You have the opportunity. So what happens is if you are picked for this, what happens is you're paired with a staff member who's in your specialty. So they're not just going to just throw you in and let you, how fun, kid, you're on your own. They actually give you somebody who has experience to do all this. And then they'll offer guidance how to start your own Kickstarter or start their drip. So their Patreon like service in drip, which I think is interesting too, because last year it was just Kickstarter. So now you can actually do something like create the whole thing. Maybe I should apply.
Yeah.
If I had the money to spend 3 months in New York, I probably would. And then they said, the residents have access to a dedicated workspace, fulfillment station, as well as our theater, recording studio, library, meeting rooms, and kitchen. They have opportunities to be featured in Kickstarter's produced editorial content and be invited to attend regular workshops, talks, performances, and feedback sessions that put them in the conversation with other creators and Kickstarter staff. So if you're looking to apply for this, the residency starts in May and then goes through July. Applications are due by April 16th. It's a little soon, but Drew, your students are used to procrastinating anyways. And then creators will be notified by April 20th if they've been selected for the program, and then you can email them if you have any questions. How do you feel about kind of this idea of having residents and stuff? Because I know we've broached the subject before, but now that we know what kind of things they have access to, like, is this a good or a bad thing?
It's a fine thing. I think that it's nice to put a little competition in there and give perhaps, and I guess the question would be who they're choosing to be their in residence. But you could really give somebody a leg up to give them access to that, those resources that might not otherwise be able to pull off a campaign or to execute on a great idea. So I feel like this is a kind of a cool way to give back and to say, hey, let's see who we can help. And then for them, there's probably a good bit of research or just having something kind of under their microscope as they move along that might help them in their data and in the building of tools. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for sure.
Yeah, and then the funny thing is the one student of yours, and it's been a couple years now, that I think would be the greatest fit for this is your student that recreated the Tonight Show intro, except for downtown Ogden. I'm like, oh my gosh, if he had this opportunity, I could see him doing something amazing with that just in those 3 months. Because like it's really crazy. I mean, some guy started his whole podcast series like that, which like,
and that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, I think it's great, and you're in New York, so you have access to all of these people. Because I was thinking, like, what would I want to do? I would want to kind of do like a video game related thing. Problem is, most of the studios are on the West Coast, so Kickstarter, I need you a West Coast one, and I'll apply for that, and we'll see what we can do with that. So if you're interested, make sure you guys go to the Kickstarter blog and apply by April 16th. All right, on to our next one. Drew, you and I, we both like food. I think you and I probably eat the same amount. I'm probably more sherry about the food I eat, but I think you and I, we can devour a good amount of food. So that's why we decided to feature a news article on how to be successful with a food Kickstarter. And you're probably like, KT, you guys never talk about food Kickstarters. Wrong. If you actually go back to one of the earliest episodes of KickCast, you'll notice that I actually backed a bakery that made chocolate s'mores, and oh my gosh, those were the most delicious things ever.
I remember.
Yeah, I still have the chef's coat in my room because it says like personal taster, and oh my gosh, I love that. So what Tasting Table did was they interviewed the director of Kickstarter's food campaigns to share the tips and tricks that he had with food Kickstarters. Because I mean, for a while, all the food Kickstarters were, I need to start a restaurant, or I'm looking to start a food truck of some sort, right?
Right. Yep.
But I mean, some of the other stuff we've backed, like the mayonnaise, which they've rebranded to Macho Mayo, but I liked it as mayonnaise, but better. So he offered some of the tips, and some of the things that he mentioned in this article was that a lot of people are more adventurous than what you would expect. So he's saying that sometimes you want to just experiment and see what people want. But one of the most important things, and I think we harp on it a lot too, is that the biggest use for Kickstarter, and especially like these food related things, is we see people using it for the community engagement factor.
Yes.
So having that crowd, because I hear this a lot too from a lot of the board gamers too, where they're like, why are these big companies that are raising $3 or $4 million on their game, or they already have a large game company behind them, why do they keep coming back to Kickstarter? I thought this was for the little guy and stuff. And I would tell them, well, it's because they've built this following, this community on Kickstarter. And, sure, you could go and do it on your own website, but you're not going to get that huge community as before. Because, I mean, how many, you and I have backed hundreds of projects.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you feel like you're part of this community, right? When you're backing a project, you're seeing the progress and stuff. And, that's one of the big keys. And he gives another piece of information that we've mentioned, I think even on our last news article. So he's like, it's the potential for engagement. That's the secret sauce for a campaign success. I've had to tell a lot of creators that Kickstarter isn't great for you yet. Folks who don't have a foundational community or have built a name for themselves, those are the failures that we see the most. So again, it goes back to, you got, like, Kickstarters no longer put it up and they will come. You need to have that community or that backing behind you before you want to launch your project. And like, so that kind of extends beyond food projects, right, Drew? Where if you don't have that community, you're going to have a tough time getting your project off the ground these days.
Yeah. It really takes to have the engine revving before you even start running, or else it won't go anywhere, and you'll be trying to figure out why. And you gotta have the people.
Yep. All right. So now it is time for our kick shouts. We don't have any kick shouts today. So if you have a project that you want us to mention, shoot us a tweet at KickCast at Night20 or at Ktdata. Let us know and we will mention it on the show. I'm trying to think. Go check out the Batman board game.
Oh.
Have you seen this? The Batman board game?
No.
It is a Batman miniature board games by the guys who made the Conan board game, and it looks pretty sweet. It's called Batman City Chronicles. They've already raised $3.5 million out of the $500,000. But it's a board game where it's a one against many, so it's one villain versus a bunch of heroes, and you got to work together to defeat the villain, or the villain's going to be able to defeat you. And it looks amazing. It has tons of miniatures, tons of trays of stuff. I mean, you can, if you're watching the video version, you can see all the characters that are included, and they're still adding more. I think they got another couple. How long do they got? They still got another 3 days to go before it ends. But if you're looking for a miniature game to jump in on, this is one of those that you want, because all of these look cool. I mean, like, look at that man bat. Oh, looks so sick. And I can't wait to get my copy. So that is Batman Gotham City Chronicles. Go check it out, because it's a Kickstarter exclusive only game too. So they're only selling on a Kickstarter. Their reason being that it would cost way too much if they tried to sell this in the store.
Okay.
And so, Drew, when I get my copy, maybe I'll have to bring it up to Ogden. We'll get you, we'll get Randall, we'll get everybody who lives up in Ogden around and play a game of Batman.
I can do that. I can totally get on board with that.
All right. So it is now time for our projects of the night. I don't know, Drew, you don't really do this, but you've probably seen a lot of people on Facebook, where they're always post, you load up your Facebook page, or you load up your Instagram page, and then somebody always has like that one image with some inspirational quote there, right? To just kind of give you a pep. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, right?
Yeah.
So my question is, how would you like it if you could get that on your wrist at any time?
Look down and get an inspirational quote at any time. Okay.
Yeah, so that is actually our first project of the night. It is called the Quotes Watch. So their idea is to just give you a quote on your watch, and then their whole idea is to make it, aesthetically pleasing, as you can see it. So, sometimes you just need to pick me up during the day, and that's what the Quotes Watch will do. So the screen is actually made out of e-paper or e-ink, right? So it's actually not using a lot of power. So it kind of reminds me of the Pebble Watch. Long rest in peace, Pebble, because Fitbit bottom, I think. Yeah, I think Fitbit bottom. So, and the whole idea is it's got these quotes, and then you have a couple options too. So it's not just gonna like give you some random cheesy quotes. So what in there is you have the options of writing your own quotes. So on my watch would just have a whole bunch of Professor Tyler's inspirational quotes and knowledge, pieces of knowledge that you should have every single day.
I like that idea.
Or you could get personal messages, which is great too. So what I could even do is have Drew send me those messages every day, just so I don't run out.
I could,
I
could send.
Oh, I would love to see it when I wake up in the morning, look at my watch, and I see poop happens. Quote Drew Tyler, 2018.
Good. I like that. I can make your day.
You can hook it up to tweets. So if you are an avid listener to KickCast, you could actually hook it up to the KickCast Twitter account, and it would tweet when we go live and tweet when we have you vote for projects. You can also select different fonts. So there's 15 different fonts that you can pick from. So you don't have to always stare at the same thing. And then they have these interesting things called style filters. And what they do is actually format the text into kind of, different kind of designer trends. So you're not always just looking at the same words day in and day out. And then if you like one, you can swipe up and it will give you a good one, or swipe down and it will, use that to kind of figure out if you like that quote or not and kind of move around. It has
you can still like and unlike, even though it's just kind of displaying on its own.
I think it disappears if you dislike it. And it also has the option, because it is a watch, and I've noticed a lot more smartwatches don't do this well anymore, is it can show you the quote and the time, or you can just see the quote. You swipe left and right. Because how many times now you hear about these smartwatches and you gotta flick your wrist, or go okay watch, and then it shows up the time, or you got to swipe left and right through all your notifications to actually find out what time it is. It's still a watch, which I love about it. And so it has a 4-day battery life, and it has some pogo pins on the back, so it kind of is like the Apple MacBook charger. So you slip it on and those snaps on and will charge for 4 days. And what I really like about this is that the design aspect is kind of the biggest thing. Is they wanted to make this look like a really nice watch, and I think they did a really good job in terms of it. And you pair the watch with Bluetooth, because everything has Bluetooth now, right?
Right.
And they have all these different colors and some different accessories that you can get with it, because the whole idea is kind of this to be stylish and still give you some inspirational quotes. So what do you kind of think about this project, Drew?
I feel like it's a Pebble-ish kind of 2.0, but I do like the e-ink idea, because then it does last really long, but you still have the options of switching things up with quotes, time, and just quotes. I love that you could send somebody, loved ones could send you notes or certain tweets. There's a lot to love here. I think that's kind of a fun way to do kind of a middle of the road smartwatch, if you will. You still have some of the fun of the connections, but you're not paying, for the
you still can get your
1 day watch.
You can get your text and stuff. That's what's kept me from buying some of these more modern smartwatches, because I love the Pebble, because the battery life on it was amazing. The problem with the Apple watches and most of these Google watches, I'm like, well, now I have another thing I got to remember to plug in, and sometimes I don't remember to plug in my phone. So, and when you're paying how much is an Apple Watch these days? $400, and it can't even do that. It's on there. So yeah, this one is a back for me. Just because I love how minimalistic it is for somebody who owns a lot of crap. I don't know why, but this, I saw this, I'm like, it looks nice. I could totally wear this, and it's just kind of chill, and it's one of those things where I feel sad today, and then I just look down, and then there's just a quote from Drew, and my day is just that much better. Magic.
You believe in magic? I like that idea. That's good.
Yeah, that's how you become a better person, is to listen to Drew's quotes. So you should follow @Night20 on Twitter, so you can get all these pieces of these nuggets of wisdom that he spreads out. So this is a backtracker sack for you.
I think this is probably a track. I think that I love the idea. I've got the smartwatch that I plug in all the time. I've already gotten that habit. I'd love to see where they go. They're not quite funded yet. It looks like they've still got a month to go, and they're about a little less than maybe a quarter of the way there. So I'm going to watch this one and see where it goes. I love the design that they put into it, and some of the examples of quotes. It just has a real organic kind of clever designer feel to it. So I'll track this one and see where it goes.
Yep. All right. So for our next project, I was all excited because I saw the title of it, but this project is not about Rick Astley. So, Drew, why don't you tell everybody
Oh,
what this project is about?
so the title of this is "I Will Never Give Up" versus "I Will Never Give You Up." I will never let you go. But "I Will Never Give Up" is a project from a guy named Mike Young, who has been busking, right, playing music for money in the subway of New York for 38 years. And so the story of this guy is pretty amazing, but he's basically a subway singer that at one time, like uh, years and years ago, he was signed to RCA when he was 14 years old, and then he got signed to another label called T Electric that was kind of had the acts of like Etta James, Luther Vandross, like some pretty big names. That label went bankrupt before they made him, his album. So what's amazing is that the dude's 58 years old. He's busking in the subway every day to pay for his house. He makes enough money each month busking to pay for some the house and the projects. But what's amazing is that a couple of years ago, I think it was a producer or somebody came by, recorded him on their phone, got it to go viral. Like he hit I think it was James Corden's show. He did, I think it was America's Got Talent, got to the finals. So he did good because his voice is amazing. But
yeah, we can play a sample on this, and I hope he doesn't.
Oh, do you have a sample?
I hopefully he won't shut us down. But let's try this.
Oh,
and I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe it's all part of a plan. I just keep on making the same mistakes, hoping that you understand. Maybe now.
Like that's nuts. I mean, and here's,
right?
Yeah,
and
here's his original song right here. Hopefully this
is what he's raising money for. Is this type of song on that?
Oh, that's awesome. That just makes me happy.
It's a beautiful sound, and so he's basically trying to raise money to get an album that he never got the chance to make because the label, went under. Even when he did his viral videos and he was on America's Got Talent, there was not enough carry through to monetize or to get him any money. Even his videos online will get tons of views, but he wasn't or hasn't been able to like make a living off of it. But that voice, he deserves to make a living off of it. So for this project, there's already 2,700 backers. If you read the comments from the backers, they're all really supportive from all over the world, where they're just like, man, your voice just feels like a hug. I just need this right now. But for even as little as $5, you can back and get a copy of the MP3. Or trying to remember, I think
he's getting at least $40 from me because I'm looking at the reward tiers. One of them is a vinyl LP.
Yes. So the pre-order the albums, get about $10, and then the vinyl. I knew you would go there, but I guess for me, I just feel like it's pretty brave of producers and somebody else to kind of try and pull him out of the busking world and into like, hey, let's get you an album that we can stream and purchase. But I love that they're kickstarting it because I feel like that is a authentic and good way to say, hey, let's give this man an audience. Let's give him some fans. One of the classes I'm teaching in fall is going to be based on this 1,000 true fans idea, where you've got enough. You don't need millions on YouTube. Like a viral hit doesn't pay the bills. If you have 1,000 people, right? You know this. If you have 1,000 people that are willing to support you financially, or in this case, he's got 2,700 backers that are willing to say, here, like then you can start to create make a living out of your creation. So this is Mike Young. I Will Never Give Up. This is definitely a back for me. I love the music. I love the flavor that they've given it, and I would love to hear a whole album.
Yeah, I'm definitely backing this. And the reason why I want to get the vinyl LP of this is because this is the kind of, like, when I listen to a vinyl, it's not usually over headphones. It's usually over the speakers. It's filling out the room. And like his music, I feel like if I'm playing that, that's going to get me up, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to sound awesome just filling up the room.
He's got a big voice.
Yeah.
He's got a real, like, powerful and big, just soulful voice. I'm excited to hear the whole album.
Yeah, so that is definitely a back for me, and he's above his goal now because his goal was 75,000. He's got 81 right now as the time of recording. But I really actually hope he gets to the $250,000 because they'll make a full a documentary kind of on his story, and I would love to hear more about his story and kind of know that whole thing. So yeah, this is definitely a back for me. So make sure you guys check out I Will Never Give Up by Mike Young, and it's on Kickstarter. You guys should go do it. All right. For our last project, this is the one that you guys voted for. And I swear you guys like voting on the things where I have zero experience in this world because I don't have kids. So first off, Drew, you have one kid that's between ages 0 to 7, right?
I do have one that is under 7. Yeah.
All right. But you've raised 3 excellent girls that any parent would be jealous of.
Remains to be seen, but they're cuties.
My question to you is, as they were growing up, did you have a lot of because we talked about it a little bit of the last episode with those like pegboards, but did you have a lot of kind of those quote unquote toys that were secretly teaching them things in the background, or like had the companion buddies and stuff? How helpful were those?
They're pretty helpful. I think what I love about them is that if you get series and if you get things that they recognize, especially in those younger years, they'll latch on to things that they can see, like the same cat in multiple books or in songs or in, you know what I mean? Like if you get multiples of the same thing that are in different forms, different mediums, they kind of latch onto that, and it gives them something to feel familiar with, so they go over well.
All right, so the project that we're showing tonight is called the Octobo, and it is an interactive plush companion for creative learning. So it's this little plush thingy-mabobber that I think you can pair up with your phone, through a tablet, and then it has a whole bunch of different storybooks and stuff where the Octobo is kind of that main character or somebody in it. And then it will teach you, it works through all the tablets and kind of help you be that friend as you're going through the stories and stuff. And then it has full sensors and stuff. So, they can touch him, they can talk to him. And then there are some like pieces and stuff that you can wave in front of him, and it'll recognize that and react appropriately for that. So that's what's really interesting about it. And I guess they're working on increasing their app library too. So right now they have, a few handfuls, but they're still adding more and more to it. And I like this whole idea of kind of a storybook, and they can grow with it. So here you can see these tokens are like little discs that you can put in front of Octobo, and the screen with the eye and the mouth will react to that as you're reading your story and stuff. And
that screen or that eye and the mouth is your iPad or your device slipped inside of the soft plushie. So that's kind of a cool way to make that happen. The sensors all kind of are part of that, and they are Bluetoothing back to your iPad, I assume.
Yeah.
And you can interact with. Oh, neat.
Yeah, and they've kind of broken it down. I like how they broke down these age groups too, where 0 to 3, it's working on sensory stimulation, your fine motor skills, and social interactions. I may need this. I'm terrible at social interactions. And then 3 to 5-year-olds, they have visual perception, verbal comprehension. I may need that, and emotion perception. I think I need this. I'm terrible at reading people. And 5 to 7, language learning. Who knows? I can't speak anything. So, and learning through play and sensory integration. Wow, I apparently need a toy made for 0 to 7-year-olds.
Who knew?
But yeah, I really like it. I don't know, Drew. Would this have been something? Because I know your kids are kind of on the cusp end of this kind of goal. But would this be something that you would have loved as a parent?
I think so, and I think what I really love about it is, for instance, I have devices, right, and it's easy to hand off a device and be like, "Here, play on this, tablet or play something." And I had several tablets that or apps that would be like, learn letters, learn your numbers. This puts it inside of like a soft animal plushie that they can interact with.
Yeah, and it probably protects your tablet a little bit more too. Yeah. The more I think about it.
But even just doing things like recognizing letters and having it show you that C is for clap or crane, or playing different games. Like, I feel like that is a really cool part of the engaging and learning at that age that I would definitely be behind. I think that's cool.
And do you kind of have like what's the word, like tech time limit? So like,
yeah,
you limit how much time they can do on this or on like different devices. So it's great.
30 minutes to an hour. Yeah. Yeah.
So in the app, there's actually a setting that you can give the duration of the play time, so it will stop after that time. So that way they can just put it away and then go run around and skin their knees or something like that.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great idea. You should have something on there that controls how much time they spend playing with tech, even this educational tech, to say, okay, you're doing spelling or whatever your task is, you can have 60 minutes, go. Or if you're younger, all right, I want you to just interact and play with this for 25 minutes, go.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's one feature that I don't need anymore because I'm old and I just get tired, so I'm going to bed. Just like, I'm done with this. I'm going to bed. So at least that. So is this a backtrack or sack for you?
It's a back. I really think they've got a great thing going here. I think that the juxtaposition of a soft, plushy animal that is unique with all the Bluetooth sensors and the iPad and the learning environment, all those things coming together, this is a definitely back. I feel like they're going in the right direction for sure.
Yeah, and
it'd be great to put this in school or in preschool or other things to give kids an opportunity to learn this way.
Yeah, and I always love these toys or learning aids that grow with the kids. Because I don't have any kids, but I know kids are expensive. So the longevity of having this is awesome. And just that able to have that familiarity to go through the ages. Because I'm trying to think, what do I have in my house that I've had since I was like a little kid? I can think of, there is a plush dog and a blanket that I've had like my entire life. I don't use either of them, but they're still in my room.
I was about ready to say, I think you know exactly where they are. They're right next to your pillow.
Yeah, they're next to my pillow, but I don't use them. I mean, I'm trying to think. Okay. I probably use this more as a pillow than anything else, but little poop emoji for all you guys. I love the Throwboy guy. Yeah, I'm looking around because I do have a lot of plush things. Like there's a plush Steve Jobs staring at me that I forgot I owned for a while.
Oh.
But yeah, that's what I love about these things is that they grow with you, and I like how it's not the same old thing too. Because I remember growing up that's what would kind of take me away from toys. Is like, well, it does the same thing over and over, and you kind of get bored with it, right? Because you're a kid and you don't know any better, and you don't know how hard your parents are working to get you that toy. So that is the Octobo. If you guys want to check that out, that is on Kickstarter. And if you have kids, go check it out. All right, Drew. Our last project it's time for our sack of the week. And this is another kid-related thing. And I'm not really sure what it is, to be honest with you. So it is the automatic child car alarm. So I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense. This is a fully automated electronic alarm device. The alarm is automatically activated on the parent's or guardian's smartphone. So it seems like it's okay, right?
Well, yeah, a little wordy, but you get a half of an idea of what maybe they think they're making.
Yeah. So again, it says the same thing on the first line. That this is an automated electronic alarm device to warn a parent/guardian that a child is still in the safety seat. The vehicle. The alarm is automatically activated on the parent/guardian smartphone when some distance from the vehicle is reached. Okay.
If they're in the chair, I think is what it's talking about. So if the kid is in its car seat and the car seat is not in the vehicle.
I guess so.
I would want to know. I guess I would want to know.
Or like you get in a traffic accident and you didn't tie the car seat down, so it flew through the front window. It'd tell you that too.
Little alert, you'd look down and you'd be like, oh yeah, it's not here with me anymore. Okay. I'm trying to figure this out.
That was pretty morbid of me to say, but I'm like, I don't understand.
How often does the car? So they have car seats. Having had many kids, they have car seats that buckle in, and the base stays in the car all the time. And you hit the latch and you lift out the actual, car seat with a handle, and you carry that around on a stroller or in the house, or wherever you're at. And then when you're ready, you bundle them all up inside and walk them out and pop them in. Is that what he's talking about?
That's yeah. So okay, so we'll keep going on. So in the features, it says this is did you know it's fully automated? Because he wants to mention that like every line.
Once it's all automated.
Yeah. Once the child is placed in the vehicle safety seat, the alarm is armed. The alarm is automatically activated on your smartphone when some distance from the vehicle is reached. This is where, like, what? When the child is removed from the vehicle safety seat, the alarm is automatically disarmed. It will only alert the parent guardian when the child is in the seat and the parent guardian is a distance from the vehicle. The key feature of this device is fully automated and cannot be inadvertently forgotten to be activated. So I guess this is for the parent that forgets their kid in the car. Who does that?
That's what I'm guessing is this guy has some experience in leaving kids in the car, and he's come up with solutions so that he doesn't walk away from his kids being in the car.
I'm like,
who does that?
I don't know. I'm not a parent. I'm pretty sure most parents know the kid would be in the car because you put them in the car, right?
Yes, you know where they are almost all the time, every moment of the day. Oh, man.
And the alarm is designed to be automatic, simple, and easy for anyone to set up and use. It's not simple and easy for anybody to understand what it is. It is small and water and other liquids proof. The device is easy to install in the child car seat and typical smartphone setup in app installation. No other product is on the market. There's no current U.S. patent for a product like this. There are many child safety alarms, but none of the features of design is fully automatic. I will not reveal any proprietary information, but feel free to ask any questions you'd like.
I'm worried about the proprietary. I'm just trying to figure out the basic.
Yeah, I mean, Rose Kitty mentions that it happens in Texas. Sometimes children left in cars too long, but I just...
Yeah, but again, that's a conscious decision to say, I'm running in the store, I'm leaving my kid behind.
Yeah, the kid's in the car. And what confuses me is, so if the kid knows how to unbuckle his own seatbelt, and the kids learn how to do that. I've seen my cousins do that. Eventually they get old enough to manipulate the straps and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Then that would automatically disable this, right?
And then
it wouldn't work.
Or maybe it would just... You're right. Then it wouldn't matter.
So that's the first reason that it's a sack for me. The other reason is you click on the view. So this looks like either a stock image or a really badly taken picture of them in a car. And then you look on the view gallery, you don't see the device. And this first one honestly looks like a stock image to me. Doesn't show you where the product is. So that's a little sketch. Same with this one. There's no... where is it? Is it in the belt or is it anything? That was the other part is I'm not sure where this device goes. I know it's automatic because you mentioned that a gazillion times, but what does the device look like?
Right.
And then here's...
what's funny is he doesn't... I don't think he says anything in the features of design or anything about leaving them in a hot car. It just talks about distance and that. If you look at his bio, it says... just someone who saw a need for a device to protect children in hot cars that is automatic and foolproof.
Yeah, why
So,
didn't you put that on the Kickstarter page?
yeah, I think Kitty's onto something. Maybe that's it. Maybe there's like someone that walks away and forgets that their child is in the car again. I don't know who forgets.
I mean, not to judge people, but that's kind of bad parenting.
You're right. You can't. It's hard to forget. Maybe that's the foolproof part because I'm imagining like she's leaving the kid in a hot car. You're on something. Like you're.
It's like I like I'll admit I don't have kids, but that just seems like that's not good parenting.
I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go with you.
And then here's the kicker. How much do you think a fine device like this would cost?
Something that connects to your phone that has a tether, like Tile, $40, $50.
For the basic level to get one device is $1,000.
That's so much money.
And you will get it estimated in March 2020, 2 years from now.
Oh. Guess you will need the money.
And if you want two, of course, it's going to cost you $2,000.
Oh, okay. Thanks for cutting me a deal.
So, I mean, I know in Utah, we have big families here. So two is probably not enough, right?
Hopefully there's only two in seats at a time.
So here's the weird part though. How much do you think it would cost to get three?
$2,000.
$5,000. You get
Hold on.
But you also get bragging rights.
And a bronze reward, whatever that is.
The bronze reward is the two devices. So you get that.
Wow. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say.
So you're essentially paying $2,000 to get bragging rights.
That's a possibility.
And then if you want a personal thank you from the owner, it's $10,000.
Nice. That would be nice.
So the max you can get is 3 devices, but you could get a personal thank you if you double the amount for 3 devices, which is already not economically sensible.
I'm blown away. Just blown away. Who's this guy?
Like, yeah.
Wow.
Like, this is why it's a sack of the week, because one, there's no picture of the device anywhere. I barely understood what the device is for, and your pricing is just... Did you do any market research? Because it feels like you didn't do any market research about this.
There's some questions too. Yep.
So that's why this is the sack of the week. Not because I think it's a bad idea. It's because I don't quite know what your idea is.
Don't quite know what it is, right?
So yeah, that is why it is our sack of the week.
Let it go.
And unfortunately, I also have to let this episode go because it is the end of our episode. Drew, do you got anything to plug before we go?
Oh, what should I plug? In the fall, I am teaching because it's kind of similar to what we talk about here, but I am teaching a new class. I'm going to make up from scratch, finding all the information about how to grow and create a community of 1,000 true fans that support everything you do. So if you do Kickstarters, Patreons, Gums, like whatever you do to build, make a living off of creation, you should enroll in my class. We'll figure out a way to get you in. It's okay.
Is it an online class? I want to take this.
I'll make it online. I will stream it.
I need to learn these secrets, guys. And the reason why I need to learn these secrets is if you don't watch this show live, you might not know that twitch.tv/Ktdata is a Twitch affiliate. And what is great about that is if you use Amazon Prime and you do not have it tied up to your Twitch account for your Twitch Prime account, you, my friends, have money that you're throwing away each month. So you should link that up because you get a free Twitch subscription that you can send every month to a streamer you like. And if you like this show, head on over to twitch.tv/Ktdata and just hit your Prime sub for that. And it's going to cost you $0. You've already paid for it, so you might as well use it. You also get other extra benefits too for like, video game extras and stuff. I think this month is you get like Fortnite stuff. So if you play Fortnite, that's some extra bonuses you can do. And if you don't want to give it to me, go give it to one of the many, many excellent Twitch affiliates out on Twitch TV to help them. Maybe they're working to get those 1,000 loyal people. So Go do that. Help out the Twitch community. Of course, if you have any Kickstarter projects you want us to mention or talk about or sacks of the week, shoot us an email, kickcast@ktdata.net, or leave it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/kickcast, or tweet us at kickcast with the show at night 20, which you should already be following so you can get the words of wisdoms from the one and only Drew Tyler, or at
I should be more
KTData.
wise.
Yeah. Or at KTData for who knows why you want to follow me. I just tweet out pictures of food, to be honest with you.
That's worth it. I mean, sometimes that's all you need in your life. A little bit more food.
Food and board games is what you get from me.
All you need.
And then, so our next episode, oh man, it's already April. It's coming up. Our next episode is going to be April 10th, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I think we'll be here. I don't know. April is always a busy month for me because my family all has birthdays and anniversaries and stuff, and all the dates mix in. But we'll let you know if you follow us on any of the social media channels.
It should be there. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, kickcast.net for all the show notes, past episodes, and any other crazy shenanigans that happens on the ktdata.net network. That's like saying ATM machine, right? All right, guys, thank you so much, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.